Hi guys, welcome you again to Exploring MS. For those who have joined me for the first time, I'm Lima and I talk about my journey with exploring MS in this particular channel. So, for the people who has gone through my last week's video, I had shared the glimpse of the seminar that happened in India Habitat Center, which was organized by Multiple Sclerosis Society of India, right? The Delhi chapter. In today's video, what I want to do is I want to share few of the things that was discussed by the doctors there. Now, I attended the entire seminar, so I know, so I know what was discussed, right? So when we went to the seminar, we were given this notebook, and there was this copy of which doctor would be talking on what topic, so you have all the doctor's name, and the curriculum of the entire seminar was covered, was given in this particular sheet. So I think the first it was a whole day seminar, right? So it started at around 10:30 and it ended like literally around 5 o'clock in the evening. So the first session that it was mainly for rehabilitation in managing MS. So there were prominent doctors, mainly from PSRI and CMC Ludhiana and Manipal Hospital, who was Dr. DP Pandey, who was a physiotherapist, and they were all talking about a lot of things on the rehabilitation kind of thing. So what I've written down is what I wanted to share, right? So from this particular session, what Dr. DP Pandey from Manipal, who is a physiotherapist, he mentioned that MS physiotherapy is different than other physiotherapies. So not two people would get the same kind of physiotherapy session. So MS physiotherapy is completely different. And just to let you all know, MSSI has physiotherapists, in their organization, and if anybody needs any help, they can approach MSSI. That's what you could do. And he also suggested that people should start physiotherapy as soon as possible, rather than waiting for the situation to deteriorate and then start physiotherapy. He suggested that one should start as soon as possible. Now, honestly, if you ask me, I have not gone through any physiotherapy session because of MS. Now, the physiotherapy I did was because of my knee joint pain, and that was totally different, right? Because I felt like I'm completely mobile and I do a lot of exercises and all. So I never felt that urgency or that need to go and meet a therapist, but that's what the doctor suggested. That's what I'm telling you. And there was a lot of discussions around, exercise also. Now, exercise, as per all the doctors, they mentioned, their view was that exercise is extremely critical. Now, this is something that I've covered in a lot of my videos, right? That how exercise is important for MS patients. At least, if you want to be mobile, if you want to be able to do things by yourself, I think exercising is a must. And that's what was confirmed by the doctors also. And it was also discussed balance training helps for MS patients, strength training, that too helps for MS patients. And one of the doctor also suggested that 150 minutes of weekly exercise is recommended. So 150 minutes of weekly exercise. So in 1 hour you have 60 minutes, right? So it's like what, 2.5 hours? So I think that's doable, right? And that too in a week. There was another doctor who was an occupational therapist. Now, honestly, I had not heard about this term earlier. It was the first time I got to know that there is something known as occupational therapist. It was Dr. Hitesh Gupta, if anybody wants to refer, BLK Max. So he is an occupational therapist. Now, what is an occupational therapy, right? He explained that. So mainly, the occupational therapist will help you in doing your daily tasks better. Like, what are your daily tasks? Like, maybe brushing, maybe like, taking shower by yourself, or dressing up by yourself. So, or speech therapy, all these, it comes under occupational therapy. So someone had asked, like, if it is okay to take a massage, to which the doctor said that it is okay if you feel it's okay for you, but you have to be vigilant, right? So hot stone massage and all, that might not suit people with MS, right? Because hot showers, steam, getting into the steam and all is not recommended for MS patients, right? So massage is good enough, but you have to be vigilant. Somebody in the crowd who were attending the session also had asked about assistive devices. So those are the kind of devices which helps people in walking and all, right? So they asked this question, that is it fruitful, should we opt for it? And to which the doctors mentioned that that's not the first choice, of course, going on for this assistive devices kind. But yes, not two patients, like someone who is with MS versus someone who has just gone through an accident, a road accident, let's say, for example, right? And their problem is different, right? So not the assistive device which might help someone who has just gone through a road accident, it's not must that that same thing might help the person from MS also. So it might vary, so that we'll have to look into it. Also, they just mentioned that it is an expensive thing, right? So you have to make sure to ask your doctor, and whether it will work for you, and if there's any proof that it has worked for anybody with MS. So there was a discussion on health insurance also, so it was mentioned that MS comes under a critical disease. So we might have taken health insurance and not noticed if my critical disease is covered or not. So this is something that everyone should make a note, that if you are going ahead and taking health insurance, you have to make sure that the critical disease is covered. And further discussions were going on, and wherein one of the doctor was just like sharing their viewpoint that we should have MS centers in India, because it is a multidisciplinary disease, right? So if someone has MS, that person might even need an ophthalmologist, right? Because of optic neuritis, like what I had. Okay, so it might not just be the disease of a brain, even though it is MS, and MS is a disease of a central nervous system, but that disease can affect so many other organs also, right? It might affect your eyes. You might have problem in walking, so you might need a physiotherapist. You might not be able to see, so you might need a ophthalmologist. So that way it is a multi-disciplinary disease, right? So that's what they were discussing about it. And not to forget that MS hits people in their prime. I mean, MS does not happen to a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old, right? It hits people at the prime age, 20s, 30s maximum, right? So that's what the discussion was all about. And then post lunch we had Dr. Bhatia from AIMS, Dr. Joydeep Mukherjee from Max, and there were other doctors also, right, who had joined, and they were discussing about the DMTs. Now somebody asked if what should we look at when we opt for DMTs? Should we look at the efficiency, or should we look at the safety? So to which the answer was like it might vary. you know um, there might be like, okay, some of the DMTs might be very expensive, okay, and efficient, and it might be safe for some and might not be safe for the other, right? So MS, again, it's also a very personal disease, right? So now if you ask me, I have been taking rituximab since 2018, and it is economical, first of all, and it has suited me. Okay, after taking rituximab, I have not had any more relapses. But again, the same rituximab, if somebody else takes it, it might not suit them, so that person might have to change the medicine. So that's what the doctor also said, right? So there's nothing like, there's no comparative data of efficacy. It might work for some, it might not work for the other. That's what it is, and there's no head to head comparison. And we also got to know that rituximab has been now listed in the WHO list. And I think one of the doctors, I don't remember who, maybe Dr. Joydip Mukherjee, I guess, he advocated that he has not seen any safety kind of a concern with patients taking rituximab. To which Dr. Bhatia, he added that it is safe and it should be given free to everyone suffering from MS. I mean, that's like a great thought. I am just hoping that the government would listen to to him. But that's a very good thought, right? And then there came a question on stem cell therapy. Now, to this question also, the answer was that it is not the first choice. Stem cell therapy is not the first choice of any of the doctors. They anytime always provide something else first, only and only in case that those medicines does not work. The last option might be a stem cell therapy, but it's definitely not the first option. And the other thing that we discussed was all about mental health. Now, I think, a lot of things that the doctor said, I could feel that I have covered in my videos also, like, in Mindful Living. I have the entire series of Mindful Living in which I have covered all of these points. So I'm just going to read it because I've written it. So when the moderator had asked the doctors there, like, what do they have to say about people with MS and how they can handle their mental health, this is what they had to say, right? And I've written it down, so I'm just sharing it with all of you. Segregate mind from body. That's the first comment. Accept the disability. The more we fight, the more we don't accept, the more we are in pain. So accepting is the key. Regular meditation, definitely it will calm your mind, right? So I have again another video on this. Don't focus on illness. Take up hobby, of course, like take up something that you like doing. Find that purpose in your life, right? Exercise is a must. Again, think beyond DMTs. Okay, so there are a lot of aspects. According to one of the doctor, she said, it was a she, I remember, she said that it's all about like your mental well-being, not just mental well-being, it's about physical, spiritual and emotional also. So when all of these three are in line, then mentally also you will be fine, right? And other thing was having a good social life. So, somebody had asked this question, how do we fight, brain fog? I've written the answers here also because even I do fight, a lot of brain fogs, a lot of time. The answers that, the doctors provided was take care of your mood because that's what one of the cause for brain fog. Sleep is important for memory, so sleeping 8-9 hours is extremely critical. So if you don't get those 8-9 hours of sleep, if you've noticed, you get cranky, and then you spoil your mood. So sleep is extremely important. And then another thing that the doctor said is keep a tab on your vitamin D and vitamin B12. Now, vitamin D, I make sure that, my vitamin D is in place, but I had never thought about B12. So maybe, I will definitely measure B12 also. He said that, these vitamins, vitamin D and vitamin B12, they play a big role in memory. Okay, and then they were like, okay, engage in meaningful activities, and not just that, if not not any of these things, if it does not work, you can even keep those memory tools like your diary and task, and those kind of things, maybe write notes and all. Other question which was asked was, what are the safety concerns? Okay, to which the answers was maintenance of NEDA. Okay, NEDA means, like, you just have to control, like, you don't get any more, I mean, it's no evidence of disease activity, right? So your disease is under control. That's what NEDA means. And then they said prevent infections, maybe wear masks and all. Now that COVID is emerging, I think that's one thing that we have to do. Keep exercise going on. Again, this is the third time we're just talking about how exercise is good. Stay positive. MS is treatable, it is controllable. Don't fear the disease. Don't discontinue the medication. That's what one of, I mean, and whatever I'm talking about, it's not me suggesting. These are what the doctors had mentioned, right? So I have written it down. So I made the most of the notebook that that was provided, and they had provided a notebook and a pencil, right? So I think I consumed all of the papers there. So these were the things that they mentioned, that you should not fear the disease, never discontinue the medication, because at times, like, we might just feel, oh, I'm not getting any more attacks, so maybe I can stop taking the medication. But the catch here is, because you're taking the medication, you are not getting any attacks, right? So we should not discontinue it. And lastly, it can be controlled. So that's what the safety concerns we talked about. So this is the last bit that I'm gonna cover. I think there was a discussion, like, how to live a long life. Now I think everyone knows that MS is not a fatal disease, right? It's just, I mean, has to be controlled. So I've written it down. There were few points that the doctor suggested, and I'm just going to read it as is. So the first point he said was no addiction. So as I've covered in my previous videos also, like, for people who smoke, smoking is a total no, right, for people with MS. So it's like banned. Okay, so you'll have to quit smoking. And if you drink, you have to drink in moderation, I guess. It'll be tough to say stop drinking, but maybe in moderation should be good enough. I hope the doctors will kill me saying that, but then, like, I know how tough it is. So yeah, I think you can drink, but in moderation, I guess. You can't drink like the way you used to maybe before you had MS. So there has to be some change in the lifestyle. That's one thing, right? Healthy, balanced diet was another suggestion. Less fat, and avoid processed food. So these are the kind of food that we should be having. Regular exercise, again, right, maybe fourth, fifth time that we're talking about. Good sleep, extremely important, right? So we have to make some lifestyle modification. That was the few pointers that the doctors had to suggest. And it is really difficult to cover the entire session in this particular video, because the session was for whole day, right? It started at 10:30 and ended like 5, as I told you earlier. But whatever I have captured and whatever I could share, I have done that, and I hope this helps. Before I end, I've just noticed, like, like almost more than 70% of the viewers who watch the video does not subscribe to the channel. So this is a humble request that I'm making. Everyone who hasn't subscribed, please do go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It will help, me or the channel reach more people, and it will motivate me too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.
Life's a puzzle, piece by piece, finding hope in moments